Here's the title. Andrew Yang speaking fees, including from JP Morgan, raise campaign finance questions. The sum of it is ABC News has launched a hit piece against Andrew Yang randomly this morning. You can see my tweet right here. I put, @Andrew Yang is being accused of having campaign ties to JP Morgan simply for having his logo appear on some PowerPoint slides. Seems like another desperate attempt by the MSM at bringing down Yang's integrity. The hashtag Yang Gang will not stand for this. In short, that's literally what it is. Andrew Yang delivered some speeches to various corporations, and not speeches like in a Hillary Clinton type of way where she gets paid millions of dollars for delivering speeches to like Wall Street stuff and like big banks and stuff. Like not that type of corrupt speech. According to the article, this hideous smear article, it says Andrew Yang was paid for a number of speaking engagements, bringing in $94,000 between April 2018 and February 2019. His financial disclosure report shows. Among the well-heeled clients paying for his appearances with JP Morgan Chase & Co., which paid $10,000 for 5 different events. If Yang's getting paid $2,000 per speech, that covers food, that covers traveling, maybe Yang can get himself something nice. They're really wilding out over $2,000 per speech, when Hillary Clinton got paid like what, hundreds of thousands, millions maybe? So Yang himself describes the speeches that he made to JP Morgan and Chase as speeches related to his book, The War on Normal People. And he presented that book with PowerPoint presentations to leaders of various financial institutions, which includes JP Morgan and Chase. These PowerPoint presentations happen to have the Yang Campaign 2020 logo on them. So what ABC is basically trying to say here, what they're trying to pin Yang on, is the fact that since the PowerPoint presentations happen to have the Yang 2020 logos on them, somehow that means that Yang and the Yang campaign now has campaign ties to JP Morgan and Chase and possibly other elitist banks and corporations. Kind of funny that ABC only talks about JP Morgan and Chase, since apparently Yang did it to a lot of other companies. Perhaps JP Morgan and Chase is what suits their narrative the most. Who knows? So Yang says, the truth is, I don't remember what the logos were in terms of the deck. I mean, I have a presentation I've been given. It would not surprise me if the campaign logo was somewhere there because, that's just the imagery that was on the slide deck. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all. And that makes sense. According to some comments I saw related to this, that happens to people in the white-collar business sector all the time. A reusable PowerPoint with some information, not relative to the client. So it's something that happens, especially in white-collar businesses. ABC really went out and wrote a whole article, according to another tweet, that summed it up pretty well. It says, sounds like he was being paid to present his case on automation to JP Morgan and not much else. Some companies are interested in its effects, even JP Morgan. And like the tweet says, $2,000 a speech isn't exactly bribery. I think we can all agree here. If this was true, Yang would have a lot more money in his campaign. And I mean a lot more money. If he actually did have campaign ties to JP Morgan and Chase and other big banks and other corporations. You know what the quarter is at right now? 4.5 million. It just hit 4.5 million. And those are all donations from small donors, from average people like you and me. Not only that, but if Andrew Yang really did have campaign ties to big corporations and big banks, secretly this whole time was giving secret evil speeches to them in exchange and getting money funneled into his campaign in exchange for political favors from the corporations, then I feel like the mainstream media would be treating Yang a lot more fairly. Would he not be getting more fair treatment if Yang was truly corrupt like the rest of them? Like Pete Buttigieg, for example, he literally earned over $20 million in just Q2 fundraising alone for his political campaign. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I believe an article listed him having 32 different donors that are billionaires. 32 billionaire donors funneling and funding money in the Pete Buttigieg campaign. And what's he at right now? He's at 4.5 million. He got paid $2,000 a pop for those speeches. So it says right here, while campaign finance laws allow candidates to be compensated for work independent of their campaigns, payments to candidates may be considered campaign contributions and subject to federal rules, unless the compensation results from bona fide employment that is genuinely independent of the candidacy. according to the Code of Federal Regulations. What they're basically saying is that these JP Morgan and Chase speech payments are actually secretly campaign contributions in exchange for political favors. I'm not buying it. I am not buying it. It says right here, in 2016, Hillary Clinton faced questions about private talks she was paid to deliver to Goldman Sachs. What Hillary Clinton did and what Yang did, two very different things. So yeah, this is just disgusting what they're doing to Andrew Yang. First, CNN and MSNBC are censoring him through hiding him in graphic polling charts, literally hiding him from the public eye. And literally a day or two later, they're now having the third Democratic debate hosts, ABC, launching smear articles against Andrew Yang. And maybe one of the saddest parts about this is that people are actually falling for this. People are actually starting to be up in arms. Some people on Twitter are renouncing their support for Andrew Yang. I just feel like everyone's jumping the gun. In the Andrew Yang Discord, for example, a lot of people are kind of sad right now, to be honest. It's a little bit worrying times. I don't think this is going to blow over. I think Andrew Yang has to have an official response or something like that. Andrew Yang did respond in an unreleased interview to ABC, but I think we're going to need more, especially if this starts to catch fire, and especially if other mainstream media sites start reporting on this. It's just so disgusting to see this happen. It was literally a presentation about his book, The War on Normal People, and it happened to have the Yang 2020 campaign logos. So, like, talk about grasping at straws, right? It's just crazy.